Hi, this is Stephanie Hansen, and you are listening to The Makers of Minnesota, and we are doing a recap with Amy Quale from Wise Ink Publishing. She's one of the co-founders, her and Dara Beavis. They were episode 29 that we did in 2016. Amy, can you believe it was that long ago we talked?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it was that long ago we talked. It really feels like, I would say 9 months.
I know,
like
it flew
honest.
by. I was just looking too. It seems like you guys have published now over 400 books.
Yes, we have. It's been over 400.
Yeah.
So it's been so fun to watch and to be a part of.
When we look back, when we first talked, you guys, I think, had, I want to say 4 employees sticks in my mind. The 2 founders, and then you had 2 other folks. When I was on your website, you've got quite a team of people now.
Yes, there are 9 of us in-house. So we have 3 part-timers, and the rest of us are full-timers.
What you guys do, I think, is really unique. You are people that help authors publish books, and people can publish books for lots of reasons, right? Sometimes people need it for business purposes. Other times they've just got stories that are burning inside them that they need to get out. You help them plan the book, build the book, launch the book, and eventually sell the book. Can you just give me in a nutshell sort of where you see the bulk of your work happening?
You mean in what genre?
Yes.
Or in...
not genre, but do you spend most of the time helping people plan to write a book? Do you spend most of the time helping them get it launched?
That's a really great question. I'm so glad you asked that specific question, because that's one of the ways that we have expanded quite a bit since our launch. We have been coaching and doing ghostwriting for more authors in the past year and a half than we have at any other points in our career. And now we actually have a content development department that we've created since we launched. This is new within the last 6 months, but in the content development department, we've got several writing coaches. We have ghostwriters, people who can do research. And the whole mission of that department is to remove any roadblocks that an author might have to getting their book done. So, whether you have completion anxiety around just sitting down and writing, or if you really just need an outline, somebody who can craft that for you, if you want somebody to hold your hand through the writing process and be a writing coach, we've expanded that significantly. So I would say 90% of our authors are utilizing our content development department in some capacity. So it's not just building books anymore from the manuscript up. It's a lot more strategic planning and getting in and actually doing the dirty work on behalf of the author and with the author early on. So
and
that's been a lot of fun.
It seems like, too, let's say that you're a company or a sports star, or, I don't know, you're a chef. You have your talents in certain areas, but writing might not be the one, but you still want to get that story out.
Exactly. And it's not always ghostwriting, but just providing any extra help, technical help that a writer might need. Like you said, it might not be in your wheelhouse necessarily, and you might have some writing ability, but maybe you don't have time to do the research, or to maybe you have time to dictate the content but into your phone and create content that way, but you don't really have time to clean it up or organize it into a draft. We have people who can do all of that.
So let's say that you have a book, and there's putting a book together is a lot more complicated than people think, because you have to write it, and then there's a design element to it. There's a cover art. There's putting it all together, font choices, illustrations, that sort of thing. So you have the story, you get the book put together, and you're ready to package it. A lot of people are self-publishing, but there's still the holy grail of trying to get a publisher, right?
There is, and we still hear that. And why I think we really are different than any other self-publisher out there, because we don't have packages, because we have a totally custom process because we have a traditional publishing process, but we're taking a custom approach to it. It really is allowing people who want the independence of self-publishing to put their best foot forward and maintain the independence that they would in self-publishing.
Right. Because a lot of your authors, is it that they don't want to publish on a more global scale, or that they're just happy to get the work out into the world? What are you feeling?
It's a lot of time it's people who, it's such a, self-publishing is great for entrepreneurs, for business owners.
Yeah.
A lot of times our authors are people who for whom it's imperative that they have control over their message and where their book goes and how many books get out into the world, and they want to have the freedom to get sponsorships from other companies or other avenues, different nonprofits, or whatever it might be. And self-publishing allows them to have a book that they're proud of, that they are controlling the messaging on in a high quality way.
So in your instance, not having as many bookstores, and certainly in Minnesota, the amount of bookstores has dwindled, it doesn't really impact your business at all, does it?
Not so much. We do suggest to certain authors in certain genres to make key partnerships with traditional bookstore channels and retailers. But like you said, it is not the holy grail. I as much as I like Barnes and Noble, getting one book on a Barnes and Noble shelf and just the spine among hundreds of others on that one shelf and thousands in the actual bookstore, and just counting on your perfect audience to walk in and stumble upon it is not really good marketing.
Right.
And so we like to be a lot more direct than that. So, targeting online is huge. We've also expanded, and we have social media partners that help authors launch social media campaigns and targeted ads on Amazon and other places that allow their perfect audience members not just to stumble upon it, but to see their books directly. But then also finding as many ways that that authors can connect with readers directly as possible beyond just online, helping them figure out how to have a speaking platform, how to be present in front of their readers, and in a physical sense. I think that that's not just effective for selling books, but it also helps them achieve their goals more directly, because their goals are often to create a movement or to impact people in a certain way, and there's no way to manufacture an emotional response that you can get from an in-person interaction.
Right. I have been really impressed with the quality of the books that you guys have worked on. You're obviously still having fun. What's the end game like? Do you see just continuing to grow? Do you see maybe selling the company at some point to a larger publishing house that would like your tools?
We are open. Right now like I said, we have expanded our team. We're past $1 million in revenue.
Yep.
So that's been fun as well. And what we've been seeing is that a lot of our authors are getting they're further and further out beyond the Twin Cities. We've always had authors on a national and international level, but we're seeing more and more of that. We had an author who's a former executive at Facebook last year. We've got an author who is teaching emotional well-being to inner city schools in New York. So we've got authors who are doing all kinds of really cool stuff. As far as expansion, we're open to all of it. We've talked about what it would look like to have a satellite office in a different city, or what it would be like to sell our resources or franchise our resources to another organization. We would be open to all of that. One of the other things that we've done in the past few years, and this is more recent, is we've partnered with a foreign rights agency, and I believe that we're the only self-publishing company that they are partnering with and they don't work with individual authors. And the reason that they're publishing with us is because they can trust the quality of our books to be just as good, if not better, than what they are seeing from their traditional publishing partners. So
I have a feeling. Did you partner with Mark Levine, who was also a guest on our podcast?
I did. Yes, we're partnering with DropCap.
Yeah. So Mark had Hillcrest Media and sold it since we've talked to him last, and I have to get him back in studio so we can recap with him, because there is a lot of interest in this whole international publishing as the world gets more global and therefore smaller in some respects. We're seeing titles transfer from the United States into other countries very easily. So that's really cool.
It's very, very cool. And it makes, it really is leveling the playing field for our authors in a way that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I love that. Are there any trends in books or self-publishing that you're witnessing lately?
I would just say, so we've been working on a lot of health books. We've been getting a lot of health entrepreneurs who are wanting to publish books. And, I was just at Blog Her in California, the conference. And it was an amazing experience. But really, books were just the buzz there everywhere. Every influencer wants to have a book. So I think that's one thing that we're seeing. It's, the definition of an author isn't necessarily somebody who just sits in isolation anymore.
Yeah.
It's a person who wants to have an impact. What they call themselves are influencers.
Yep.
So books were all the buzz, what everybody was talking about.
Don't you think that's kind of I can't remember the name of the lady who wrote the book, but Girl, Just Shut Your Face.
Girl, Wash Your Face.
Yes, there you go. Close.
Yes, there is a big movement around women's empowerment and betterment, lifestyle stuff that's in. I feel as though it's spreading beyond the mainstream women and into greater culture. We've got Marie Kondo now, who's got her show, and it's all about tidying up. These domestic responsibilities are now wellness tactics.
I love that, the domestic responsibilities.
I love it too. And it makes it accessible to men, I think, as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be something interesting to watch, because I'm starting to see some of those books that you're talking about in my mind that I've seen on the shelves or seen on social media. That's pretty cool. And I'm excited for you guys. It's been a fun process to watch you. I also think you have one of my favorite designed websites, and maybe that's because you have such amazing illustration there.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We worked with a local illustrator on that, and we worked with Pollen locally here.
Yeah.
They did our website. They do such a beautiful job, and they're all about spreading positive stories. And I don't know if you've had a show with them, but they would be a good.
Yeah, I just wrote that down actually.
Yeah, you should connect with them.
Yeah, because it's just, your website is really great. Amy, thank you for spending time with us today and catching us up on what you guys are doing over there at Wise Inc. Say hi to Dara for me. She's a powerhouse in and of herself, who's your co-founder, and she's written some books herself. And I just look forward to seeing what the next couple of years will bring you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy.
You
Bye-bye.
take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.